Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the premiere edition of Angela Answers Fan Mail. Hashtag Clutch Your Pearls. I am Vinny, and the star of the episode, the star of the show is Angela. You know her from multiple shows. You know her from Days for Dummies, as well as Suds News, as well as PettyPrattle.com. And we decided to bring up the show start the show because of the simple fact, well, Angela, you could be kind of polarizing on Twix. And
Me? Me?
well, we've got some posts as well as a couple of DMs that, you know, uh, people are upset at your views on Twix as well as some of the things that you say about people. And I'm giving you the opportunity to respond in a public setting, and yes, names will be named. Um, if you do want to submit anything to Angela Answers Fan Mail, you can email us angela answersfanmail@gmail.com, and we will go ahead and read it on air as well as responding to it right here. However, I do want to point out that this show is going to be only half of what you're going to actually get to know about the show because the other part is going to be on Patreon. If you want to hear the down and dirty, you can go to patreon.com/suds and squared circle and subscribe because that's where the rest of this show will be. So you're only going to see part of it on YouTube and the rest of it is going to be on Patreon. If you do want to donate and don't want to go to Patreon, go to Buy Me a Coffee, buymeacoffee.com/suds and squared circle, and you could help us out that way. Also, we are an official affiliate of WWE Shop, which is a Fanatics experience. Go to suds-media.com/wrestling merch, and that goes ahead and has our affiliate link in there. And whatever you buy through that link gives us a commission that helps out our network. All right. So, Angela, before we get to uh, the first person on Twix that had some problems with something that you posted, I want to kind of give you the floor to kind of get you the premise of give everybody the premise of this show. And I don't know, why do people have such a problem?
I think people have a problem with me. A certain group of people, I won't call out an entire fandom, although many know about who some of the worst fandoms are on GH Soap Twitter, and they were on the GH message boards of old and
Yep.
all of that. But I don't back down from them. I won't be bullied. I don't care about their, little hive
Yep.
of hangers on. I don't care. I also match energy.
Yeah.
I try to keep my stuff to the show. But if people want to delve outside of that, we can. We absolutely can. And I mean, I don't like a lot of people are like, oh, she doesn't like anybody. She attacks anybody who doesn't like Carly. I don't care if you like Carly. I don't care if you like Laura, right? I don't care if you like me. I don't attack anybody. If I see people lying, about the character or whatever, or the actress, I'll correct it. I will jump in then. And, if people don't want discourse, that's fine. I mean, I don't know why you're posting on a public board and have your comments open, but okay, that's up
Yep.
to you too. I've been trying just to play in my own sandbox unless I see something, really egregious or whatever lately. But this all started, or not started, but it took on a life of its own almost 2 years ago now on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So my children are grown and gone. The one that's closest is 21. Her and her college friends live in a little apartment in the same multifamily I'm in. It's owned by the people I nanny for.
Okay.
It was Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
Um, my son had just moved to Chicago. Um, other my other kids, scattered far and wide. So I just had my little Bronte here, and my middle one was down in Boston. She had COVID. Originally, she was going to come up. I was going to do a turkey, ham, the whole thing, and she was going to, have Thanksgiving with us. But she got COVID, and this was back when you're quarantined.
Yeah.
So Bronte doesn't like turkey. So I was like, all right, well, I can just make the ham. She's like, I'm not really feeling it. I was like, you know what? F it. Let's just get Chinese takeout. How about that? You don't have to cook. You'll get what you want. We'll get some. We'll put it on your sister's doorstep. Great, fine. Everybody's happy. So since I didn't have to cook this huge meal, I was playing around on GH Soap Twitter. A little fun.
Yep.
And in my bio, it says that I have 5 kids, and one of the little bitter bitch bunch, made a comment. She didn't like, that I was talking about the show, saying, "Don't you have 5 kids to cook for?" And I said, "I'm getting takeout. I have time." And that took on a life of its own. For some reason, they thought that that meant that I was going to get some takeout and sadly eat alone.
Yep.
And whatever, that's fine. But they started nicknaming me Takeout as though being able to afford takeout is an insult. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've offered to Venmo them takeout money for lunch for takeout so they could experience it. None of them have taken me up on it, but the offer stands. Um, I think, yeah, I mean, takeout is literally one of the stupidest cater names ever, but these people aren't original. My kids have had a lot of fun with it. They got me this cute little planter. Oh, you can't really see it, I guess. That looks like a
Yep.
takeout
Yep.
container. Um, and they make, funny little comments about it. It it used to really piss me off that they brought my kids into it
Yeah.
because what's wrong with you people? And it also they don't affect me or my mental health, but these were people who thought that there was somebody who was alone on the holidays
Yeah.
without kids and family and thought that was something to mock,
Yeah.
which really tells you the type of people we're dealing
And
with. So,
it's funny that you say that because in this day and age, there you could see the divide between generations. You and I come from a different generation. We grew up with sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt me.
mhm.
Youngsters on soap Twitter, and we see it on wrestling Twitter too, but these youngsters on soap Twitter, you know, they come from a generation where if they see something that they get offended by, all of a sudden they need a mental health day. They need to make it known that they're offended, and everybody is in the wrong because they are offended.
Yeah, absolutely. It's craziness. And it all came to a head a couple months ago. So after almost 2 years of them calling me takeout and yada, 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 whatever, and talking about my children,
Yep.
one of them made some comment about me with something that I had replied about. And I committed one of the unforgivable sins. I called her the worst name any of them had ever heard. I called her the C word. Now I'm saying the C word for,
Yep.
YouTube and whatever. I don't care. This word does not bother me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. One, I'm from Boston. I swear a lot. We all do,
Yep.
whatever. Two, I lived in England when I was a kid. And there, it's no
It
different
is
than the word bitch.
across the
It's
pond.
very,
It is.
very,
Yeah.
it's really, but and we talk about clutching pearls,
Yep.
they shattered them. I swear to God. And I tried to explain to them. I'm like, listen, me calling you that is no different than you calling me takeout. Name calling is name calling is name calling,
Yes.
sweethearts. My
Exactly.
sisters and brothers in Christ. There's no moral high ground for any of us here.
No.
But but this was months ago now. This was like towards the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And the hysteria has persisted. Let me tell you about this. It is Oh God, like they'll be talking about me and they'll go, well, at least she didn't call you a cunt. Just like, my God, I called one of them that once.
And now it's taking
One,
a life on its own.
and it's a whole thing. So fast forward to September 7th.
Mhm.
Um, there was a whole brouhaha after the news came out about Kelly Monaco being written off
Yeah,
and that they were going to kill her. And people were hysterical. The news had just come out. It was literally probably that day,
yeah,
maybe the day after. And people were hysterical. And there were people blaming this, blaming that. And a couple people, not tons, but a couple people literally were blaming Laura Wright,
yeah,
saying that it was literally she had demanded it happen because she wanted the pairing with Jason and yada, yada, yada,
yeah,
which is ridiculous. It's absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. And some Carly and Laura Wright fans pushed back,
yeah,
to which, because hyperbole is their bag,
yeah,
they can't just say the vast majority, very few people are saying, or the vast majority are saying, no, no, no. It has to be not a single person
yeah.
blamed Laura Wright.
Right.
Not a single one.
Yeah, of course.
And let me tell you, Vinny, this shit makes me crazy. It makes me, when somebody speaks in absolutes like that, especially about something like this, it makes me crazy. Just like when people say the majority of the fan base.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know, none of us know shit about what the majority of the fan base likes or doesn't like.
I just
Enough.
responded to somebody today on Twix about them talking that there's a toxic work environment behind the scenes at GH because of Frank Valentini. And I responded, I said, who, where are you getting your information from? Because not one actor has said that there's a toxic work environment. And actually, quite the contrary, because we've had multiple
Right.
interviews that everybody's having fun now with the new writing regime and
Even
their
actors who
story.
have left.
Yeah,
Even actors who have left don't say that. I mean, Ingo Rademacher sued them
yeah,
and he didn't claim that.
right, exactly.
He sued them
Yeah,
and didn't claim that that was what was going on.
yeah,
They just they pull this stuff out of their ass. They're part of this I feel it, so it must be true
yeah,
thing. And I know that Stephen Colbert gave a word for that, but I can't remember what it was. But it makes me crazy. So I responded, and not responded, but made my own little post. Didn't even, quote, oh, actually, I did quote tweet her.
yeah,
And I just said, and with a picture of, somebody who had literally said that it was Laura Wright wanting it.
yeah.
And I said, in other world
I'm
news,
gonna
world
go
hunger
ahead and
doesn't
share
exist.
that right now.
Okay.
And give me one moment to get that up. Let's see. I believe you should be seeing that now. All right. So right now you're going to be seeing what I see on the screen and
Hmm.
this post. Um, not as so you did quote tweet
This was
somebody.
mine. I
Yes.
did quote tweet Femme Magic
Yes.
because she said not a single person. If you
Right.
scroll down, you'll see her quote tweet
Yeah, and
that I quoted.
this is what this person Tink wrote. It will bite
Right.
them in the ass. People will stop watching my by the masses right after Sam dies. LW wanted this, so it happened. Next on the chopping block is Liz, the only person who can get in the way. I don't think he will be back. Hopefully, I am wrong. And then you did quote retweet and you said not a single fucking person, because of course the person
Hmm.
that
Because it's ridiculous.
right. And which means in other news, world hunger doesn't exist because this cozy bitch just had a sandwich. And this is
And I was saying, step outside yourselves. If, maybe you didn't see it or whatever, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
right. So this
Yeah.
person, Fem Magic,
Hmm.
took a screenshot, didn't even quote tweet you, but took
Right.
a screenshot and shared it saying, all this about you. Called a beloved member of the community a vile slur, and now everybody hates her. Little to no engagement. Pulling up screenshots from 1975. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong, but Twitter didn't actually start till the 2000s.
No, it was literally a screenshot from like the day or two before. I
Uh,
understand she doesn't like to be proven wrong, but whatever. Go ahead.
Desperately trying to get attention, keeps getting fired from her soap gigs, ugly spirit, embarrassing nickname, etc. So,
One, CUNT, let's address these things one by one.
okay,
CUNT is not a vile slur.
no,
It's not. It's not. Um, the N word is a vile slur, and
yes,
I'd never say it. Other things are vile slurs.
right,
CUNT is not a vile slur. As far as a beloved member of the community, Herbst Weber. Not words that I would use to describe her, but she's not a member of my community, so whatever. I'm not sure she's a beloved member of the overall GH Soap Twitter community, but maybe. I'm sure she's beloved by some, not by me, but whatever. Either way, not a vile slur.
yeah,
No more of a vile slur than takeout is.
right,
Little to no engagement. I don't post for engagement. I post because I have something I want to post that I want to say for whatever reason.
right,
If people like it, great. If they don't like it, that's fine too. If they ignore it, okay.
yeah,
Pulling up screenshots from 1975, we've already addressed this, but a little bit. This is, she didn't like to be called out as wrong.
of course,
So maybe people shouldn't speak in absolutes.
yeah,
You said something didn't happen. I showed proof that it did. That's kind of desperately trying to get attention. Okay. Keeps getting fired from her soap gigs. Let's clear this all up right now. I wasn't fired from Soap Opera News. I wasn't fired from TV Source. I resigned from Soap Opera News. TV Source, I had stopped writing for, years ago. I wrote a few things for them, and then it kind of fell off there because there had been some health problems with the editor in chief, and not a whole lot had been going on, and that was anybody's fault or whatever. And then I was doing more with Soap Opera News. TV Source, ironically, still has me listed on their
wow,
website as writing for them. I haven't in years, and I have, TV sources are great, whatever. Soap Opera News is great too. I resigned from Soap Opera News. I did not get fired.
right,
Michael and I are still friendly.
yeah.
And I started my own website literally that week. It had been in the works for over a month.
And you
It
also
launched
started,
that.
yeah, and you also came on to added more podcasts to your resume with Days for
Right,
Dummies, which has been roughly over a year at this point. Um,
right,
as well as you became the new permanent co-host for Suds News.
right. Does that mean not everybody hates me? Are you the one who doesn't, Minnie? Because she said everybody hates me. I don't know.
Yeah, it must be, but I mean, even over a 10th floor, the fact that you're on Days for Dummies and the chat there,
Right.
from what I've heard, actually likes you
And
too.
but this again goes back to the whole thing.
Yeah,
Everybody hates her.
right,
You can't just say, I hate her. No,
right,
they need to make it seem bigger than it is to make them seem more important than they are.
right.
But I'm the one desperate for attention and though seeking engagement.
Yes,
Ugly spirit. Okay. We all have our opinions of each other.
yeah,
And embarrassing nickname. Yes, I am embarrassed for them that they came up with such a stupid nickname for me.
yeah,
It is very embarrassing that they cannot come up with something better than takeout.
Right.
I'm not sure why she'd list that there like that, but it is a very embarrassing nickname on their parts.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not ashamed that I can afford takeout. I'm not sure why I should be. I'm also quite a great cook, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's so, swear to God, GH Soap Twitter is the toxic work environment. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God. And, the thing is that, and then, she gets her little replies.
Yeah.
We have Hopi C, who used to write for Soap Hub and Soap Central. I'm not sure where she's writing now. I'm sure somewhere. She hasn't appeared on my feed in ages. I'd almost forgotten about her insignificant ass. Ugh, cut me real deep. Cut me real, real deep. It's just, and there were other, you guys can insult me all you want. The fact of the matter is, you made a claim. It was bullshit as per usual.
Right.
You got called out and you didn't like it. And then somehow I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
Or, when I turned around and put their nonsense back on them by, calling them a name outside of their name. And they didn't like that either. But it is what it is. I'm not going to back down from their mean girl crap. I don't want to sit at their lunch table.
Yeah.
I was popular in high school. I don't need to be popular now. They're all trying to make up for something, and that's fine. But like this woman, she bashes this fem magic bashes Laura Wright nonstop. Not just the character of Carly, the actress of Laura Wright.
And
The
that,
actress Laura Wright.
and I'm sorry, but that to me is because it's one like, and I've said it on, I've said it on the show, on my shows numerous times. I'm blocked on Twix on my personal account, which is at Vinny Suds. I'm blocked by both Maura West and Nancy Lee Grahn. Nancy Lee Grahn because of political views, Maura West because I made a comment, and this is one thing that I am perplexed as to why I got blocked, but at one point there was a storyline that Ava was gonna that would could have possibly been killed off, and this was when she came back with the black hair as her cousin Denise, you know,
Mm-hmm,
fell off the I think it was fell off the bridge or something to that effect. But
mm-hmm.
when GH had put out the tweet to promote it and said, "Will Ava make it?" or "Ava's leaving" or something to that effect, I responded, "Good riddance," because I did not like the character of Ava, and I got
Mm.
blocked for West for that.
Ah,
But I never once attacked Maura West, the actor, because she's phenomenal
right.
at her job. But
Yes.
you have to be able on whether it's on social media or not, you have to be able to separate reality from fantasy. And you have
Right.
to be able to separate the actor from the character. Laura Ray has come out numerous times, even at the height of the Carly Nina feud. She came out publicly to say, "Stop attacking Cynthia Watros. You can hate the
Mm-hmm.
Nina all you want, but stop attacking Cynthia Watros."
Not only that, this femme magic chick,
Yeah.
so her old account was suspended. But it was at um EBONIELON. Now, last summer, in 2023,
Yep.
GH Fan Club weekend or something, one of the events. She went and she made a post on Twitter, um, tagging GH and GH Fan Club weekend about, with a little picture of herself, talking about looking ugly and not feeling good about herself and stuff like that. Laura Wright responded to it and said, "Big hugs, you're beautiful, no filter needed."
Yeah.
And this bitch bashes this woman nonstop. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Laura Wright is one of the few actresses that always comes out and defends her castmates.
Yeah.
When some crazy person said that they hated Nina so much they wanted to punch, that they felt that they would punch Cynthia Watros in the face, Laura Wright responded and said, "Not if I was there."
Yeah.
I mean, it's the hate this woman gets is ridiculous. And it's, whatever. It is what it is. And but they, they feel like they can say anything about anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing they did to Eden McCoy over that Emmy nomination
Yeah.
were disgusting. And then after she won it, and they found out that during all of that miserableness they put her through, she was also dealing with the fact that her mother was dying and then had died of breast cancer.
Yeah.
They continued,
Yeah.
continued. And then when I pointed out to them that their fave had been nominated in the same category, older than Eden, and lost,
Yeah.
and then the next year had submitted and hadn't even gotten a nomination, and a 10-year-old won it
Hmm.
against women that were older than Eden.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I was bashing their, favorite actress who, is somehow off limits, even though everybody else is. I was, merely pointing out facts, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's just the absolute lack of self awareness is
Yeah.
what makes me the craziest.
I agree.
Is every accusation is a confession
It is. Yeah.
with that, and it's just whatever. It is what it is. So that was, that's the big whirlpool
Right.
that goes on between me, and it's pretty much basically the Elizabeth fandom or the Becky Herbst fandom. And I have no problem with Becky Herbst. I really don't.
Yeah.
When she was fired, I hate the character of Liz. So when Becky was fired back in 2012, I was excited because that I was excited that Liz was gone. It wasn't anything against Becky. I was
Right.
excited that Liz was leaving. She got her job back. I don't, whatever. I somehow was able to sleep at night still, and the sun still came up.
Yeah.
But they, you know, take no criticism or, you know,
No,
anything about them. Even
it's just the epidemic of social media that just allows everybody to be um
mm-hmm,
anonymous behind a keyboard
mm-hmm.
without having to suffer consequences.
Well, I mean, pretty much all of them, I think Femme Magic has her picture up, but most of them don't. They have the picture of their fave or a pet or whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's not their real name. But I mean, I went to a fan event in the spring
Yeah.
and I posted pictures and they were making fun of me in my pictures.
Yeah.
And whatever, I don't care, but these are people who are not posting pictures of themselves.
Right. Exactly.
And what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? It's just, and it worries me because like there was one girl who was very vocal about her mental health struggles and that she was taking antidepressants, and they mocked her.
Yeah. It's
And
sad.
that's dangerous.
It is. And these
It
are
is.
that preach tolerance too.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Everybody needs to be nice to them,
Yeah.
and their fave and yada yada. And that's, I they don't get to me. I don't get triggered. I don't, you know what I mean? There's enough stuff in real life to trigger me. I don't get triggered over anything involving a soap opera.
Yeah.
The closest they have come to annoying me is that Femme Magic once made a comment about if I just, stayed on Twitter all day and only fed my kids KFC buckets or KFC boxes, would my fave get what they wanted? And one of my kids saw it
Mhm.
and shared it with their siblings. And I got a phone call. I hadn't even seen it. I get a phone call the next day from one of my kids. And she went, "I have a real bone to pick with you." And I was like, "What?" She goes, "So you can get a KFC box to Georgia and Michigan and Chicago, but your daughter here in Boston can't get one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She was making a joke.
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks later, my son calls me. He's like, Mom, I've been home from work for an hour and a half. Is this KFC box coming, or am I going to have to order something myself? And then my youngest, the Bronte who's 21, who, lives next door, made a little post on Twitter about it too. And it's been a running gag with my kids.
Yeah.
And there have been times I'm like, if I hear about a KFC box one more time, I am going scorched earth. That's the closest they've came to triggering me. I swear to God. So, I mean, but they keep trying, and no one likes a quitter, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the next thing. This was actually a DM sent to you in February of this year from somebody with only
Mm-hmm.
3 followers. Let's
Yes.
go ahead and share this. Okay, and this was just all you could see is the name of the person, not the actual handle, of a person
Mm-hmm.
named Chanel. Joined February 2024. So I apologize. I don't know what date this actual was from, but only 3 followers.
Um, yeah. It was only in the past couple weeks. It was sometime in the past couple weeks. I actually responded to it
So it's a fair,
on Twitter.
so it's a fairly new account, and only three
Mm-hmm.
followers. Okay, no picture, just a name. And as you can see, she DMs you. This person DMs you and says, "Drop dead, dirty fat bitch,"
Yes.
and that's it.
Yes, she did. So the reason this happened is General Hospital posted a little video, promotional video, um, about um, the fan club weekend.
Yep.
And it was with Laura Wright and Steve Burton. And the actors are tagged in. And she responded with a nasty comment about Laura Wright, about her being bigger than he was, or something, just something nasty. And a few of us called her out on it
Mhm.
because, especially because it was something that Laura could see, and that's just not okay.
Yeah.
And if it happened to any other actress, the pitchforks would be out.
Yeah.
But they justify anything that these people say to Laura Wright.
Hmm.
They always have a reason it's okay. Um, so yeah, so I called it out, and other people did too, and that was the reply I got. And I was just like, I mean, that bitch is really the equivalent of takeout. I mean, actually, takeout's stupider. The fact that I'm fat is not, that's, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not news. I am overweight. Okay. I can lose weight. You guys are still all going to be assholes. That's, what I mean? And, and the fact that I'm a bitch isn't news either. Dirty, I definitely take offense to because I shower a couple times a day. I'm very not dirty,
Mhm.
unless maybe she read my fanfic, as I pointed out. Maybe that's what it was. She read my dirty fanfic, and that's where she got that. But it's just, I mean, I think that's very extreme
Yeah.
to say to somebody over
Just over soap opera.
why.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, seriously. And if you really can't take somebody calling you out, perhaps don't show your ass online then and be rude. If you cannot take somebody calling you out for something you say to somebody you don't even know that's mean,
Right.
maybe don't say it.
Yeah. You shouldn't dish it out if you can't take it.
Right. Don't start none, won't be none.
Yep.
I use that one quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, um, You're not going to hurt my feelings. I mean, feel free. Yeah, I get called Shamu. I get called fat all the time. They make fun of my pictures, and that's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings calling me fat. I used to have a daycare and I'm a nanny and I have kids.
Mhm.
And, there's nothing these grown adults are going to say to me that, is, as mean as a child can be.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it's, or as, I mean, honestly, I'm a nanny and at one point, and I love the two little boys that I nanny for. And the youngest one calls me his best friend.
Mhm.
And he was hugging my back. We were sitting on the couch and he climbed behind me and was hugging my back. And he said, "Your back is so fluffy." And he didn't mean it as an insult,
Right.
but it is one. You know,
Yeah.
that's going to sting more than drop dead, dirty, fat bitch. It just is.
And these
And
people,
when I told him, well, that's not very nice to say, he felt bad and apologized. But, he didn't mean it bad.
right.
I'm very grateful.
And these, yeah, and these people consider themselves adults. You know, I would love for them to try to say some of this shit in person, you know, and,
Mm-hmm.
if they don't get popped in the face by somebody, then they can consider themselves lucky.
Right. And that's the thing, too, is that, I mean, because a few of them have said that, they saw me at fan events
Yeah,
and this shit in person.
I think we lost you.
Why that do you think?
Oh, your picture froze. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, none of them have ever had the stones to say it,
Yeah,
even though they say that they've seen me at fan events and stuff. So, makes you wonder.
yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's kind of move on. Now we did share an email address at the very beginning of this episode. Um, Angela
Hmm.
Mail@gmail.com. And you actually did get an email from somebody. Um, Let me actually,
I did.
yeah, and actually, so not an insult, but a question.
No.
So if you'd like to go ahead and read the question and go ahead and respond.
Yeah. Okay. So we got an email from Anne, and she said, "Hi, Angela. I'm a longtime viewer of GH. I was wondering why there was such a change in GH concerning Sonny. At first, Cates was an honest FBI agent who had a realistic view of Sonny and his past crimes and wanted to target him as the criminal he is. At the same time, there were scenes with both Laura and Anna lighting into Sonny. Then something happened. The attitude towards Sonny softened. Cates was changed to hatefully unhinged and became the snidely whiplash of PC. Did Patrick Mulcahy leave over this difference in treatment of Sonny?" Okay, so first off, Patrick Mulcahy recently did an event for Santa Barbara's anniversary. He was a writer on Santa Barbara. And
Yep.
at that event, he said that he was fired from General Hospital,
Oh, wow.
according to reports. He
Yeah.
was fired, not on his own, he was fired. So take that for what that is.
Mhm.
I think the shift came, I mean, we had a change in writing. When there's a change
Yeah.
in writing, there's always going to be a shift.
Yeah.
Um, there were things that were happening that are no longer happening. I, that's really all that can be said about it.
Yeah.
A lot of things are unfolding. Yes, a lot of things are unfolding behind the scenes and things are changing.
Yeah.
And then, so that's really all I can say about that. Um, and then she said, "Why did the show bring Gio on? I haven't done anything with him. I have seen nothing that makes me think he is a romantic partner for Trina. He looks like a kid next to Trina, Josh, and Dex. Josh and Dex. I disagree. I don't think he looks younger than any. I think he looks in their same age group.
Yeah.
Um, they brought him on as a love interest for Trina. That was the intention. He had auditioned for something else. They liked him.
Yeah.
When they decided to cast him was when they decided against trying to find a recast for Spencer.
Right.
Again, things are in flux. We also haven't seen much with Josh and Dex. we will see more with all of them at some, moving forward. It's cyclical. It's, things are changing, things are what they are.
Especially with the writing regime changes so quick.
Hmm.
We saw
Right.
Chris and Dan leave in December. Patrick and Elizabeth took over in January, and then it's like then Patrick was gone very quickly, and Elizabeth was by herself,
Hmm.
and then Chris came back to go to work with Elizabeth. So it's just bam, 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 writing changes left and right. So there's been a lot
Right.
jointed. The one thing I will say is that throughout all of the writing changes, the show's been nonstop on fire.
Oh, it's been phenomenal. I haven't enjoyed GH this much in years that I've been enjoying it since pretty much the whole year.
Yeah,
I've loved it. I really have.
I have too. And it's like I get really mad at people online, saying, just they're hate watching and they're saying, oh, that's why the ratings are going down and this, that, the other thing. And I've pointed out,
Ugh.
and you've pointed out, Nancy Legrand said it on a Zoom. The powers that be at ABC are not concerned with the Nielsen ratings. Now, does that mean that they don't take it into effect when it comes to marketing and advertising and stuff? Of course they do.
Hmm.
But here's the thing. We've said it before, we'll say it again. General Hospital wins the ABC afternoon for ratings. If
Hmm.
they win their time slot. Now,
Yes.
and that's against all the other networks. Now, with
Hmm.
the Gates premiering in February of next year or thereabouts, early 2025, we don't know what that time slot's going to look like. CBS could potentially move the Gates early and put Y&R against General Hospital, or they could just
Right.
direct competition the Gates against General Hospital. Regardless,
Hmm.
you're not going to see something brand new come out and beat the establishment. It's going to take time. You might see it for the first week, first couple weeks, just to see what it's all about. But until you get
Right.
a firm fan base, we've seen it.
Hmm.
We've seen it in wrestling tons of times. We saw it.
Hmm.
We saw it in the '90s. We saw it in the 2020s.
Yep.
We're not going to get something where automatically the Gates is going to come out of the gate, no pun intended, and just
Right.
automatic, beat General Hospital in the ratings. It's not going to happen.
Right. And I mean, we can say this till we're blue in the face. They're not going to believe it until it premieres and it happens. I, I, at this, I mean, I'm sure I will have the argument about ratings a million more times, but I've just stopped
Yeah.
banging my head against that wall for right now because, like so many things, they have no idea what they're talking.
Right.
So there was one last part of that email.
Okay.
One more question.
Yep.
Why did the powers that be have the town go in search of Lucky and have Lucky in some strange place having scene after scene with a bald guy? It's a bore. The return of Rick Lansing has been so much better. He came to town and started interacting with everyone in town. Now, there are two parts to this. One, I completely agree about Rick. He's been great. I'm so excited to have him back.
Yes.
He's definitely one of my favorite love to hate characters. And as long as, my Carly can keep calling him out for what he did to her, I'm great with him messing with everybody else. As far as Lucky goes, Jeannie Francis was on vacation.
Yes.
She takes summers off.
Yep.
They weren't going to bring Lucky back to town until he could interact with Jeannie Francis.
Right.
The majority of what you have seen from the stuff you've seen from Jeannie Francis pretty much up until now was filmed before she went on vacation.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there's a really good chance she's back on set and has been
Yep.
for a little bit now, but she hasn't started popping up again yet. But she was on vacation. So that's why they did this. They had to figure out a way because, as if Lucky's going to be Lulu's donor, which I'm not 100% sure he's going to be a match, but Laura would be there for those things.
Right.
So they can't have him in town doing those things without her there. So
Exactly.
they had to come up with something.
Yeah. And actually, from what I've been hearing, is that Sam's going to be the one to be the donor for Lulu, and that's how she gets killed off. Is that she dies?
I think that might be the way they go as well. I mean, we'll see if if Lucky ends up not being a match,
Yeah.
then yes. He's going to be back in town sooner rather than later. I've been enjoying
Oh,
Lucky with the bald guy. I've been really loving it. He's been a lot of fun. The actors are good. I liked the Holly stuff.
oh yes.
I'm looking forward to the things this week with the promo. I don't understand why Jason and Anna have formal wear with them going to Somalia. I can only imagine they got it there. I hope, because it was definitely a choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been enjoying it, but everything's not everybody's cup of tea. But that's why they did it the way they did. They had to have a reason to keep Lucky out of town
Right.
until they could get Jeannie back from vacation.
And it's been a breath of fresh air because you don't, we've seen so many times people just come right back into Port Charles and they're automatically put right back into the fold.
Mm-hmm,
This gives a little bit of mystery. We didn't know, where Lucky was. All we knew was that he was in a strange, cell, and he was
mm-hmm.
to save Isaiah. And so they not only brought
Yeah,
Jonathan Jackson Lucky back, but they also brought a new character and who's a doctor. So
he's a doctor.
yeah,
I'm so excited.
and so he'll help to flesh out that hospital scene, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and he also has
Which the fans have been screaming that they wanted, and I've heard that that's on the books. Is that they're going to be expanding the hospital side of things.
and
So
has ties to was it One Life to Live, the Gannon family.
maybe, yeah, that
From
hasn't been confirmed yet, but yes.
I thought that was confirmed.
So I haven't seen confirmation of it, but
Yeah,
it's definitely possible
right.
because they do a lot of the yeah.
Yeah. But all right, so we're about out of time for this episode. Um, this is going to be not a weekly show. It's not going to be monthly. It's going to be when we find stuff to bitch about and to go and to, respond to. Um, I'm waiting for the day that Angela starts trending on Twix, and if not, hashtag clutch your pearls could trend. Um, but definitely feel free to email us, Angela answers fan mail at gmail.com. And this show will be on, part of it will be on YouTube, part of it will be on Patreon. So, um, you know, if if you see me pop up on the YouTube video and say for the rest of this episode, go over to Patreon, that's what you got to do. But either way, um, Angela, it's been great, and we're going to be getting ready to go live very soon with Suds News for tonight. Uh,
Hmm.
but either way, uh, this has been fun. I hope you got some stuff off your chest and address some of the issues
Absolutely.
that's plaguing Soap Twitter. And
Yes.
again, as long as you're polarizing on Twitter, as long as people keep sending you death threats or, you know,
Yeah.
we'll keep doing it.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure there'll be no shortage.
So for Angela, I'm Vinny. Go ahead and clutch your pearls because we're signing off of Angela Answers Fan Mail for tonight. Have a great night, everybody.